Hey guys, what is up? Hello to everyone that is currently watching. Give this video a like as you come in. Who is all currently in here? I saw a lot of you guys were already commenting, but who's in here right now? Oh my God. Damn, already got people in here hating. What up, y'all? Let me know who else in here. What's up, the only JS? Thank you for taking care of that, mod. What's up, y'all? Give this video a like if you haven't already. Let me know who's in here. What's up, Roy Chess? Morena. Uncommon Sense. This is Jose. What's up? Mermaid Barbie. Hey, what's up, guys? Andre Williams. J Dub. Salutes to everyone supporting the channel. Thank you. Crazy Girl 190. What's up, crazy boy? Valentina's World Travel. What's up? What's up? Goddess. What's up, Goddess? Valentina, Goddess, Morena. Y'all better join today. Matt Cognac. Hello. Make sure y'all hitting the like as you come in. The only thing. Am I trying to be the Queen of Spain? No, I am not. Whoever that is. Tabarak Allah. Hello, beautiful queen. Hello. So I'm just gonna wait a few more minutes. Let some more people get in here. Demetrius Bell, hello. Inferno, what's up? What's up? Welcome to the first episode of Women Wednesdays. Like I said in my previous video, I don't know if this will be like a weekly thing or every other week. We'll see how it goes. Coca-Cola, you look dashing. Christina, you guys are pretty Ukraine. Thank you, Coca-Cola. What's up, King? So I definitely hope for any ladies that come in here, for any of you guys that are listening, I hope that you guys don't feel shy to join today, okay? Like I've been saying, I'm going to keep it strictly females today. Now, in the future, I don't know. I'm still thinking about how I want to handle it. What I was thinking to do is maybe do like, we have our maybe 2 hour, 2.5, whatever, just females. And then I would like end that live and then maybe start a new one and have the guys come on. I don't want these to be super long and drawn out because I do want them to be more concise and to the point. Okay. Plus it's Wednesday. I know people work the next day. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So some of you guys saw that last night I posted a poll and I asked what topic the ladies wanted to talk about. And so out of all the topics that were on there, as of right now, it was 28 votes. The one that got the highest amount of votes, no more 10-hour streams, was celibacy versus casual sex, its effect on women, and how soon is too soon when you start dating somebody. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Yeah, no more 10 hours straight. No more. So I'm just going to wait a few more minutes. Where's best girl, Lord Hokage? Yeah, where's Lord at? Where's everybody at? Hey, Lone Wolf, what's up? Where is Lord and Danny? I don't know. They probably don't have the notification. What's your time limit this time? I'm thinking keep it between the 2 to 3 hour range. Again, I don't want this to be super drawn out, so I'll leave the more drawn out lives for like the weekend or something. So yeah. What's up, Self Styles? Goddess Blood Moon is on her way home right now. She said she was where she said she was at, I forget, but she'll be here, I think, as soon as she gets home. 3 hours. Yeah, we'll see how the conversation goes. Cause I got work to do. Hey, I work tomorrow too, so is this an American Western death style, Western thinking, Eurocentric values will definitely destroy us all? Hey Johnny. What's up, Blood Moon? I mean, at this point, I think this type of mentality is just kind of, well, I can't even say a mentality because I'm not just referring to one thing, but I think it's something we're seeing all over the world as far as how women are becoming more like sexually free and all of that. So yeah, the trolls are out. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is. Okay. I'm seeing 26 people. So just a few more minutes, y'all, and then we'll get started. Y'all already know how I do my lives. I always give my little quick introduction, and then I'll give kind of my perspective on it, and then I'll open it up, drop the link so the ladies can join. All right. Yes, ladies only tonight. Ladies only. And I do hope that this can be somewhat insightful for the men watching as well. Okay. What's up, Ramon? Arturo Estrada, hello. So I know some of y'all was already hating, talking about, oh, they're gonna be talking what these ladies gonna be talking about, gonna be talking nonsense. But no, it should hopefully be good. It should be good. And I want to get like different perspectives on here. So Dominican Doña. I'm looking like a Dominican Doña right now. Wow, that's different. Usually you say I'm out here thirst trapping or something. So I'll take it as a compliment. What's up, Lord? What up? What up? All right. If we can get to 30 people, Xtina told us her secret on why she has bangs. Well, truthfully, I cut the bangs because I kind of got a big forehead. So, Hola Julie, hello. So it's to cover the bangs, but like I said in my last video, they do also kind of bring out my eyes. So I was like, you know what? I like the bangs. I'm gonna keep the bangs. All right, you got 31 people. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. All right, so the topic for tonight, as I previously stated, is celibacy versus, casual sex versus its effect on women. And also, how soon is too soon to get down once you've already started dating? Which type of women are being... I'm generally speaking here. Of course, what I'm saying isn't going to apply to every woman. I'm covering women all over the spectrum here. And once I open it up, anybody is free to join and you can give your perspective, whether you're more on the conservative side or on the more liberal side of things. All right. Radical. Shout out to Radical. Here's a little something from a high value man. You see, fellas, women take resources while we build. Yo, shout out to Radical. All right. So, so like I said, this was a topic that got the most highest amounts of votes on the poll. And so I figured this would probably win because people like talking about sex, including women. But I figured having an all-female panel, it would be a better way for us, especially us women, to have an adult conversation regarding this topic without it getting too raunchy or distasteful, by also having men on the panel, okay? So there's that, okay? So when we talk here about these topics, we often hear about the sexual liberation or sexual revolution movement, whichever the correct terminology is, and how this has affected society. We particularly hear about this in the quote unquote Western world, and more specifically here within the United States. And so as time has progressed, women, not all women, of course, but a lot of women have become more quote unquote sexually free, right? There is less of a stigma placed, at least socially, placed on women that, have multiple partners. Some women see it as, us taking, control over our bodies and who we choose to engage with. It's like caring less about what men say about us, or what they think about us, and who we choose to engage physically with. And on the more extreme side of things, you have whole culture kind of being celebrated. You have things like the slut walk, where women are openly embracing and calling themselves sluts and things like that. Okay, of course, this is the more extreme side of things. All right. So fast forward to 2021. It is now, completely normal to see women of all ages, just doing their thing out here, including teenage girls. It is not uncommon to see, teen moms, or to see women by their 20s having had, certain amounts of, partners, et cetera, et cetera. And you guys, I'm being I'm objectively speaking right here. Okay. I'm just giving both sides of the story. Right. So from what I've seen, I think, and for the most part, I think even though, yes, socially, I guess it's more acceptable for women to kind of just do what we want, there are still women on all sides of the spectrum. You still have women that are still much more on the conservative side, and they still believe in practicing either abstinence or celibacy. And a lot of times, religion plays a role in that. You have women that are more in the middle, that are like, well, I don't see anything wrong maybe with having a little casual fling here and there, but it would be preferable to only, engage physically with men that you're at least in a relationship with. And then you have women that are on the other side that are like, look it, YOLO, I'm a free spirit out here. I'm going to do what I want. It's my body. I'm going to sleep with whoever I want to sleep with, and you can't shame me for that. So that's, I would say, roughly the three general categories that I think most women tend to fall on. So now I will quickly say this, and this is just, my opinion, okay? My opinion. I think at our core, women, we're sexual creatures. We are sexual beings the same way men are. We enjoy it, we think about it, we fantasize about it the same way a man might. And there's some women that are even worse than men when it comes to that. However, I do believe that generally speaking, women respond differently to sex. I think, it can affect us differently, especially when it comes to like, the emotional side of it. It can affect us mentally. And I don't think that we can necessarily downplay that. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I do not believe that women were built for lack of a better word, to be as sexually promiscuous as men can be, because again, we react differently to it for the most part. Now you do have your exceptions out here of women that you know, they can approach a guy or be like, listen, I only want the D. I don't care. There's no emotional attachment for me. But that I don't think that's most women, generally speaking. Okay. So before I drop the link, again, this is my perspective, and just to give you guys a little background on myself and where I'm kind of coming from when it comes to all this. I did grow up, in a church going family, like a lot of people. Um, Religion did play a factor. My mom played a role in how I grew up. And, I've said this before, my mom really, really beat it into our heads how, you should not be out here messing with all these boys, blah, blah, blah. And to be honest, my goal throughout high school and even throughout, even in the very beginning of college, my goal was literally to make it a virgin till my wedding night. I was like, I know I'm gonna be with one man only, and it's just gonna be my husband. And he's gonna be the only man that I'm ever intimate with for the rest of my life. Like that was legit my goal. Of course, that didn't quite happen. Because once I met my kids' father, and I've said this before, he was my first, whatever. I didn't wait to be married to with him, whatever. But I was with him for 8 years. We pretty much lived the married life, whatever. So, since his passing, it has been, quite the interesting journey. Now, when it comes to celibacy, so it can be either voluntarily or involuntarily. Now, for me, I don't know if I could say it was like a conscious decision that I made, but because of what I experienced and kind of going through that traumatic experience, sex was like the last thing on my mind for a very long time. So I went through my whole celibate period, okay, for a very, very long time. Okay. Like when you hear people making fun of women that ain't had none in a while, and they're like, yo, you got cobwebs going on there. That was me, right? That was me for a while, okay. Until eventually I was like, the drought needs to end. So I handled that. But yeah, when I'm not, listen, I'm a radical, I'm not capping. I'm not going to say I'm not the most experienced when it comes to men and relationship, blah, blah, blah. I've said it a bunch of times. I am very picky when it comes to men, and I'm even more picky when it comes to that. Okay. So, but I don't judge women for whatever they choose to do. Valentina, wait, come back. I saw you were trying to join. Hold on, let me pin the link. I could find it. Here you go. To be honest with you, Danny, I never went through a whole phase. I never did. And I have cobwebs. I'm proud to be STD free. Yeah. I never did. And at this age, I can't say that I regret it, because that's the thing. Well, I'm a Pisces, but I'm like the Pisces Aries cusp. I'm like literally the last day of Pisces, and we were talking about this on another stream the other day about kind of learning from watching other people and observing what people go through. Radical, shut up. But I actually paid attention to what my friends would go through. For example, going back to like my high school days, all my friends around me was fucking. Literally all my friends except for one. They were all having sex, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. I never felt like that pressure, like, oh, I need to be out here messing with these dudes too, because I will see the bullshit they would go through. So I don't know. But I will say, I also think the fact that for the majority of my 20s, I was in a serious relationship, that's part of it too. Because I was like in wifey mode pretty much my whole 20s. Because I was with my kids' dad from age 20 to 28. So, I wasn't out here messing around. And like I said, even since his passing, very, very minimal amounts of action. So that's my story. So yes, ladies in the panel, please come join. Tell us your thoughts on all this stuff. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is how soon is too soon once you start dating? I know there's a lot of different opinions on that. I know there's some women have like a probationary period, a certain cutoff or a certain minimum of what amount of time they want to be dating a guy before they give him the goods. Okay, I can respect that. Viva Bella never had a whole face, and I guess I'm a virgin. And so, oh my gosh, guys, I'm serious. I never did. So, and you know what's crazy? And I don't know if I'm saying too much about myself right now, but fuck it. Hold on. Hey, Valentina.
How are you?
Good. So, before you go, Valentina, I was going to say, of course, y'all don't believe it. What's so crazy though about society and like the fact that it's so normalized, and you're led to believe that having a lot of partners is normal or it's the way it should be. I feel like even as women, it's kind of expected that, especially at a certain age, you should have a certain amount of partners. So what's crazy is that, okay, y'all know I'm 33. So sometimes I almost feel, it's almost like I kind of feel self-conscious about the fact that my count is so low. If that makes sense, because it almost makes me feel like I'm not experienced enough because I'm this age. And okay. Now, I know what I shouldn't do is compare myself to men, because sometimes what I find myself doing is if I say I don't know, maybe I'm talking to a dude, it hasn't gotten to that point, but I start thinking, oh my gosh, okay, this guy most likely will be like in their 30s or something. So I start thinking to myself, man, this guy has probably been with like 10, 15, 20 women. He's probably experienced so much. He's probably done so much crazy shit, blah, blah, blah. And so when I look at myself, I'm like, well, shit. Like, what can I do differently? Now, I don't know if men think that way. Men, the chat, y'all can let me know. But I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's like I almost feel like it's too low. I don't know if I'm making sense. Anyways, okay, I'm talking too much about myself. What's up, Valentina? What you think about everything you've heard so far?
Hi, Xtina. Thank you so much for this wonderful topic. If you
Yeah.
guys hear some noise, that's my little 1-year-old son. So anyway, I feel like I was raised conservative just like you. Um, I am 42. I don't look 42, but I'm actually 42. And I only
Oh,
really
okay.
had two sexual relationships. And I got pregnant from both of them. So I had like one sex partner when I was in high school, but we only like maybe did it once or twice. And it was my Dominican high school sweetheart. And then after
Mm.
that, I went to college and became a born again Christian. So I got saved in 2000. And I didn't have sex until like when I was 33, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to save myself for my husband, because I wanted to get married first and then start having sex, right? I'm like praying to God all these years. And then when I turned 33, I'm like, you know what, God, you're taking too long. I'm getting old. I want to have some babies. So I'm just going to
Mm.
try. What if I can't have kids? So I ended up having sex with this really, really cute guy. We were living together. So yeah, he's supposed to wanted to have a baby, and he wanted to have one. So I was like, let's try it out. This marriage thing, I don't know, it's not working out, I guess. So I ended up having a baby with him. And then, so that was really my first sexual relationship ever. The high school doesn't count, was only 1 or 2 times. So I've been saying myself just because I believe that sex is sacred, and I still believe that should be between husband and wife, and I still believe that. But I feel like once you pass age 30, I feel like God understands you've been waiting for a long time. So maybe it's up to you and God. But I
Yeah.
mean, for me, I'm at peace about it. I don't feel bad that I had sex at 33 outside wedlock. My dream was to just get married at 18 and have sex with my husband and only my husband, but it didn't work out that way. So my thing is, when you're young, I said, wait maybe for the right person. But once you get older and you want to have kids, it's between you and God what you really want to do. So to cut a long story short, my second baby is with my Dominican husband, and like the thing with me is like I don't ever sleep with a man if I know I'm not gonna have a baby. If I don't feel like we can have a beautiful baby, I'm not gonna sleep with you. So I slept with the two guys that were cute. I didn't mind getting pregnant with them, right? So my Dominican husband, we have a baby, and yeah, so that was my second sexual relationship. So I don't have a lot of body counts, so only two body counts at 42. And yeah, so I just feel like it's up to you and your values. I don't down anybody. If you want to fornicate when you're 18, that's up to you. But it comes with a lot of baggages, emotional, and also I believe all that evil spirits as well. Sleeping with all these people, you don't know what they have spiritually, and you're gonna transfer all that to your life, and then you're gonna wonder why you have all this bad luck in life. So yeah. So anyway, that's my little spiel. Let me not take up your whole life. But you're not alone. I only have two body counts, two real body
Yeah.
counts,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
42.
Okay. And Goddess, before you go, I wanted to say, now that you bring that up, okay, so granted, so like within me, the Christian girl in me, I still believe that, okay, the ideal situation, yes, would be it should be between a husband and wife. Obviously, we passed that. But see, at my age now, you mentioned the age thing. It's like, you know, how many men in their 30s or 40s, if you're in your 40s, like who's going to be waiting to get married to have sex? If you can't start a relationship, who I feel, especially in my case, I'm already a woman with two kids. Like, I feel like ya no me luce. Sorry, I'm talking Spanish. Like, it doesn't. That's not gonna work for me anymore. What man is gonna be like? Yes, I'm gonna wait for you for us to get married. You over here, a grown woman with two kids. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's just not realistic at this point to expect that a man is gonna do that. So, I don't know. That's how I feel about that. But anyways, what's up, goddess? Goddess, you there? Hello.
Hear me? Hello?
Yes. Hey.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? How you ladies doing?
Good, good. Yeah, I can't move like I got no kids. So, goddess, what are your thoughts on what you've heard so far? Whether it's practicing celibacy, having casual sex, what do you think, or how what's the waiting point to engage with someone once you started dating? What are your thoughts? Hello? I think your mic might be messing up. Yeah, I can't hear you, goddess.
Oh,
I can't really hear you. Are you using like
dang,
a
the
headset
connection.
or something?
Hello?
Yes, now I hear you. Now I don't hear you.
Let me try to get out and come back in. 'Cause,
Okay.
what's going on?
Okay. Shorty is using code word. Sexy time relationship is code word for us. She used to be for the street. Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, it's different when you have children versus no children. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. You have to move differently, but I also feel like the expectations are going to be different. I feel like a man seeing me in my situation, they're not really gonna be trying to wait. And I mean, I don't know who's to say that I want to wait. You know what I mean? Okay, guys, is back.
Okay. Hello?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know what the heck was going on.
Okay, that's all right. MILF power. That's right. Toxic men always think all women are nasty like them. Okay. So all right, Gladys, go ahead and tell us your thoughts on everything you've heard so far.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you ladies. I was kind of raised the same way. I have a strict Guyanese mother, so, you know, um, she's always like, oh, no boyfriends, nothing. So, um, it's kind of weird, like even with that being said, because I feel like, at least from my perspective, I feel like they were pretty strict, but like then when you get to like around my age, like I'm about to be like in like my late 20s, it's like, oh no, where's your man at? Where's you not getting married? It's like, well, you just told me not not to do it like for years, not to be, I don't want to see no boyfriend where, focus on this and stuff like that. So I think that there could be like some like very I don't know, I guess like hypocrisy from
Mm,
like how our parents raised us, even though I know they mean well.
yeah.
But anyway, pretty much how I feel about this, I just think that I think when it comes to sex, like it's very sacred in my opinion. I think that in this society, in the generations, we don't really like value like intimacy, and
Mm,
I just think that like people, we should be more mindful of who we're with, and with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying
yeah. Oh, you're kind of
we
going
don't
out again.
have needs and stuff like that. Like I'm not saying all that, but I think that we should get to know someone like for who they are and, you know, just
Right.
establish that intimacy first before we just like
Okay.
get with them. Um,
Hmm.
but I don't wait.
Okay.
I see Xtina's kind of like I hope I'm not breaking up.
I
Y'all can
mean,
hear
you were
me?
like,
I can hear you just fine.
yeah. So what do you think is like if you had to put like an ideal time to wait
Okay.
before engaging with someone? Do you think that there is a certain time, or do you feel like it kind of varies maybe on a case by case basis? Like, how do you feel about that?
I think yes. I think it really just depends on oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think also depends on your age. Like I mentioned before, I think, like for example, you extend anybody about the age of 30, you're an adult now. I, if you're religious, yeah, definitely say wait till you get married if you want that. But for example, me, my next one, my third body count, I prefer to wait and hopefully do it on our honeymoon. But if not, I don't think it's a big deal. Sure, I already have kids anyway, so I think it just
Yeah.
depends on the two people and how and you and God's relationship really. At the end of the day, you have to answer for yourself,
Hmm.
So I don't think there should be like a time put to it.
Okay. So I think it kind of varies on a case by case basis as well, and I think it kind of just I don't know. I can't say that I think there's like an exact blueprint to how much or how long you should wait before having sex with somebody. Um, I mean, I don't think that you should just be rushing into doing it with everybody you date, of course. But I do think that it can vary depending on. I feel like there's cases where you meet somebody and y'all just click, the attraction is there, the tension or chemistry, whatever is there, and it just happens quickly. I do think that can happen. I don't think that you
Right.
can use that as an excuse all the time, but that happens, and I don't judge women that go through
Hmm.
that. You know, I have
Hmm.
my experience, so I never thought that would happen, but it did. So
Right.
it just I don't know.
And
I think it depends.
Right. And Christina, just sorry to catch up. I just want to address something that Danny said. He said there's no such thing as a born again virgin. There is. If you go through a long time without having sex, you're going to be as tight as a virgin almost with no blood coming out. So, yeah, there's a thing called born again virgin. Okay. So, yeah, please accept it. I've been there, done that. I
Shit,
love you, Danny, my twin.
Well, like, when you go years without, you know what I'm saying? Hey. I'm not gonna say too much anyway about that. Oh man. That's me and Bubba come out. Yo. Morena, ladies in the chat, come join, come join. Let's get some more perspectives over here. Yes, we all waiting on Julie and Morena to get on the panel. Yes, yes. So, okay, so when it comes to, women just, being out here just casually having sex with, men, multiple men or whatever, how do you feel that that affects women? Do you think that it affects us maybe emotionally, or maybe it affects our self-esteem or how we view ourselves? Or do you feel that maybe some women really can detach themselves emotionally from the act? Because I know some women do that as a way of trying to feel, I guess, empowered and in control. But do you feel that that's truly the case for, women that, when they do that? Or what do you guys think about that?
Um, I don't know, but I don't speak for a lot of women, but I know as women, we can, we don't really, sex is not just the physical act, it's an emotional act for us. It's an intimate act that we are in for. Because sometimes you can be with a man and it's not pleasing you, but you want to get intimate and sexy and have a sexual relationship with him just so you can feel that intimacy. It's not so much about him pleasing you. So I don't know if from my research that I've done, a lot of women don't even get pleased from sexual intercourse. If you're not eating her good, she's most likely will not get pleased from just you sticking your dick into her punani. So my thing is like, as women, it's all about the emotional connection, the intimacy. Yeah, not so much about the act. So I don't know if that's the same for other women, but from what I've speak for myself and also based on my research, it's not about the act. Sex is more about the sharing, the intimacy, the sacredness of the sex act. When I look at it as men do, I don't know if you guys agree with me.
Okay. No, I think for the most part that's correct. There's definitely an emotional aspect to it. I mean, there's a physical aspect to it as well. And I've come across, articles and stuff too about how there's a lot of women on here not enjoying sex. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, is it that women just aren't communicating what they want to their man? Or I'm not sure what, I don't know. Wait, what did Daniel
Yeah, I
say?
feel like a lot.
Celibacy does not.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of men, I think they're just selfish. They don't really go in trying to please the woman. Um, like one thing I like about my ex Dominican husband or my still husband, like he will make sure I come first before he comes, right? But I feel like most men they just care about them coming. They don't care if you came or not. So I feel like a lot of men are selfish about the whole act of sex. They just want to go in there, get their little pleasure and out. But they're not trying to please their partner. That's why a lot of women are not satisfied because it takes a lot more for women to really enjoy sex. You have to really like make love to her mind before she can really like feel it in her body. So yeah, so maybe I think selfish act. That's why a lot of women don't enjoy sex because it's men take it very
Mhm.
selfishly.
Okay. Well, I think there's some truth to that. I know there are men that can be quite selfish, and they're really gonna care about getting theirs. And it's like, well, if you ain't get yours by the time I get mine, too bad. So that's definitely whack. Goddess, do you have any thoughts on that? I think your mic is messing up again. Well, y'all selfish by wanting us to make six figures and only stick to one woman. uh, guys, his mic is messing up again. I don't know.
Sorry,
Listen.
Stina, can I just quickly address Daniel? He said, Daniel Smith, yes, I have two kids, but two kids by two different men that I was in a relationship with. So, and that's fine. Life happens, and I'm not single by choice. Actually, I'm actually single by choice because I chose to leave my abusive husband. So, yeah, I'm not single because blah, blah, but I'm single because I chose to be for my own happiness. And I'm actually happy. If I don't ever get married again, I'll still be happy. But please don't down me because I have two kids, but two different men. No, God still loves me the way I am, and I'm very happy with my choice in life. Thank you very much.
Danny, this one, didn't I already read it? Or I started to read it? Celibacy does not give women's WAP Wolverine type regeneration to regrow a hymen. So, nah, it's not possible at all. Okay, not literally, obviously. But you know.
Hello?
Yeah, now I hear you. Is it your internet or is like your
Okay.
mic? Is messing?
Yeah, yo, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what the heck is going on, but
Okay.
yo, I have so much to say.
Go ahead, say girl. We want
First,
to hear.
yeah, this freaking the Wi-Fi hating on me. Like, all right. So the first thing I want to say, please, man, listen carefully. All right,
Mm,
stop, stop masturbating in a woman's vagina. Stop masturbating in a woman's vagina. It's
mm,
like she has needs and stuff like that. Like it's
Right.
it's two to tango. You know what I'm saying? Like stop
Mhm.
going in selfishly. You know, no more of that,
Yeah.
please.
No more of that. Make
And
love to our mind first.
yeah, like
Mhm.
actually get to
Tell
know
her.
like the person. You
Mhm.
know, like get to see what they
Right.
like and vice versa. You know, like don't just be going in there and trying to nah like because you just
And be
masturbated in
like,
her
I'm
vagina.
done.
Like what kind of shit is that?
mm.
Mhm.
True,
Selfish.
true.
Stop that, guys. Stop it.
Yeah, men in the chat, what y'all got to say about that? What y'all got to say about that? Do you think that, well, guys in the chat, so when y'all do that and y'all are real selfish about your stuff, is it because you don't feel the emotional connection with certain women and so you don't feel the need to try and please them, or what is it? Like, why do y'all do that? Laura said, this is why I love effing hoes because they know what they want and how to keep off. Wow. So what if a guy can't help but be a minute man? Are you discriminating? Nah, F that. We can't win. No minute man. Can't no.
Fact, you need to
It's
get
one
it
thing if you
together,
listen,
man.
if you decide, okay, this is gonna be a quickie, that's it. All right, that's one thing. But other than
Mhm.
that, all
Right.
right, come on.
Yeah, you
Or,
gotta
or you know what,
step your
man?
game up.
Right. I think, man, the best thing you can do for the ladies, man, eat her out really good, make her come, and then you can go and be selfish after that. Yeah. So I think that works.
Yeah, I was gonna go there. We get it, y'all want I mean, is that wrong, crazy boy? Okay, on common sense. And see, that's another thing. I don't see, Lord, see you tripping. You tripping. Now, I don't think that men should be out here eating a box for just any old girl because that is nasty. Especially
Right.
especially if it's like just a random girl, you don't know where she been.
Right.
But
Mm.
if it's like, your girl, your legit girlfriend or your wife, like, what are you doing not doing that? Like, you need to be doing that. If there is no ring, then do not eat the come on. That you tripping. Y'all tripping with that. I
Yeah.
don't understand. What is
How
the
about if there's no ring? If there's no ring and you don't want to eat her, then don't F her either. You can't just have it your way.
like I don't see you chase that's a real man right there. That's a real bad. No, I don't understand. Like, what is the hesitance when it comes to that? Do y'all like just legit find it nasty? I don't get it because I mean y'all expect us to go down on y'all, but then y'all don't want to go down on us. Like, what's up with that? And he said, y'all expect head though. Of course they expect it. Like, what? I don't eat, I lick the box, don't want to send her to the hospital. Wow. I'm saying though, like that's whack. You're not trying to, you're expecting it, but then you don't want to return the favor. That's whack.
Mhm.
Universe
Selfish.
Street, what's up, girl? Come join the panel. Ladies in the chat, come on, don't be shy. Females only tonight. The guys are only talking shit from the chat. They're not gonna be on the panel. So
And
See, it's not a ghetto or ratchet. What you mean? There is nothing ghetto or ratchet about what I'm saying.
I also feel like, just take your, what I'm trying to say is like, just take your time. You don't always gotta rush into it. Like,
Mhm.
make it an experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, take
Right.
your time, have fun with it. Don't just be like, oh, let me go. Like, it's not a race. It's
Mhm.
not always a race. I mean, there's time and place for that, but
Right.
just keep in mind, like, I'm experiencing this with, my loved one or whatever,
Mhm.
um, and I also feel like with this whole topic, it just depends on the woman too. Like, all women, not we don't all think the same. Some women, they know that they have this idea in their head, like, you know what, they just want some D or whatever, so they set it up the way their head is fixed or whatever.
Right.
Like, they just act accordingly. So it
Mhm.
really just depends on, you know, like I said, in my opinion, I don't think that is the best way to go about things, but that's just how I move. I just feel like you should get to know somebody,
Mhm.
and if you don't,
Right.
I don't know, maybe I'm a little old fashioned, but I just think that if you don't see yourself being with this person for the rest of your life, you shouldn't, whether you want to
Right.
get married or not, you shouldn't be having intercourse with them, you know,
Mhm.
um, just
Right.
because I feel like that's a really, you know, intense thing, and it has a lot of responsibilities to it aside from just
Mhm.
pleasure, you know?
Mhm.
Right. So Roy
Right.
just said men are
Right.
implying a
Child.
woman can have sex with multiple dudes without him knowing and eating it. Well, by that logic, I mean, couldn't a woman say the same about a dude? And if you really think about it, it's just for us because when you doing that to a guy, I mean, you're on the whole thing, and that whole thing is
Mhm.
going inside of another woman. And we don't know where y'all been at. We don't know what y'all sticking, your stuff in. At least for the women, you're only really on like mainly on the outer part of it. It's not like you're all up in there, so it's
Ooh,
not the
that's a
same.
good
It's not
point.
the
I
same.
have never heard of that before. That's a pretty good point.
So if anything, it's worse for us. Like, hello. What's up, universe?
Hey.
Right.
What is
I
up?
have
Hey,
I don't know
universe.
so far,
Hey,
but
Rudy. Hey,
what is
Rudy.
your opinion on what you have heard?
So okay, so when I found like when I just noticed your live stream, you were talking about why these dudes don't want to go down on women, but they expect it from women, and I'm just like, that's a great question. Like,
Yeah.
I just think it's very, I don't know, I just think it's typical though. Like, I just think men are socialized in every way to be very selfish. So hey, a lot of men, I just think a lot of men they don't care about a woman's pleasure.
Mm.
The ones that keep a woman obviously do, but a lot of them don't. And I just feel like if he's not willing to do that, you should probably just like kick him out.
Come on. We watching Scrubber joint too, Danny. What you talk about? These women being having with like six dudes and having a whole rotation. What you mean by that? But what up, Gaines? What up? What up? You can also see hold on, what's on a man's skin. Y'all can have creepy crawlies up there. Oh my God, Zanny. I mean, okay, yeah, if a guy has something, what's up, Aleem? Yes, you are. I guess it's more visible, but either way, y'all need to stop being stingy, okay? Mermaid Barbie, what's up?
Hello.
Hey. So, what are your thoughts on what you've heard so far? Your thoughts on the topic. Um, how do you feel about women either practicing celibacy or just having casual sex? What do you feel is like too soon or not too soon to be intimate with a guy? Ramon, Christina, if you have to ask what a rotation is, I'm assuming that's I don't know, a rotation of guys you're messing with. But anyways, go ahead, Mermaid. What are your thoughts?
I prefer to stay celibate.
Okay. Okay. So, when it comes to celibacy, because I know there's different reasons as to why women may choose to be celibate. So for you, what made you make that decision? And is it something that you plan to do like for like long term, or what made you want to do that?
To have like better standards.
To have better standards?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So so would you say that maybe in your past you didn't have good enough standards, and maybe you experienced stuff that made you want to switch over to being celibate?
Mhm.
Okay. 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 So is it like an indefinite thing? Like even if you were to meet a guy, you would still try to remain celibate, or is it just kind of until you find, I guess, the guy that you feel is good enough to, um, you know, engage with?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Universe Trip, do you have any thoughts on celibacy and maybe why some women choose to do it, or do you think that is a good thing for women to do?
Yeah, of course. So I mean, I'm first of all, I just want to say I'm for the woman's choice. Whatever a woman want to do, that's what she should do. If she want to stay celibate, she should stay celibate. If she want to have casual sex, she should do that. But like, I just think what's most important is a woman kind of figure out what she wants and weighs the risk and reward. That's it. Like that's my only that's what I stand on. I stand on do what you need to do, but make sure you weigh the risk and the reward. Like if you want to just be having casual sex, like make sure you get at least getting some out of it. At least you enjoying it. At least you're getting something out. It's getting you closer to where you want to go. Whether that be if you want to, I don't know, be in a relationship, feel like you have a friend, feel like you're close to somebody. Um, just make sure there's a reason.
Okay. Okay.
And I mean, like, understand the risk, like understand that, if some stuff pop off, you're gonna be the one to get pregnant. Like, you're gonna be the one that will have this. You're gonna be the one more susceptible to getting STDs. You're gonna be the one that's gonna be stigmatized for your choices.
Yeah.
So make sure the reward is worth the risk. That's all I'm saying. Like, if you doing it, I mean, whatever. Just
Yeah, I've been hearing people say lately that if you can't envision yourself potentially having a baby, then just don't mess with a particular person. Do you guys, I mean, agree with that? Because like you said, at the end of the day, I mean, the blame always kind of gets put on us anyway, and we are the one that end up with most of the responsibility. So would y'all agree with that? That you shouldn't be
Yeah.
having somebody unless you could potentially, I mean, how can I say,
Mhm.
like, potentially see yourself having a kid with this person? Like, this is a possible risk
Right.
or consequence.
I agree. I agree with that, Extina. The only reason why I slept with my two body counts is because I could see myself having kids with them and possibly marrying them. If I didn't see
Hey,
that, I would
Tiffany.
not have opened my legs up to them. And mhm.
No, go ahead. I was just saying hi to somebody in the chat.
Okay, and also and just to agree with what Goddess was saying, I feel like a lot of women just having that also chemistry with the person. I don't, even if it's just you guys just met yesterday and you have a good chemistry, then if you want to do it you can. But I just feel like personally me, if I know that I cannot get married to you or I cannot have kids with you, I'm not even gonna open my legs up to you because whatever comes, I have to be ready for it. I mean, I don't believe in abortion either, so if I get pregnant, I'm gonna let you know straight up. If you want to have sex with me, if I get pregnant, we're keeping the baby. So yeah,
Okay.
things to think about.
Okay, so I have another question for all three of y'all. What do you guys think about like friends with benefits situations? Do you think they are
I think you need to begin some
or what,
benefits.
just in general, what do you think about them?
I think you need to begin some benefits. I'm just gonna say, like, men love to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna be friends with benefits, but they are the ones getting the benefits. It's like, what are the benefits the women getting? Like, what you gonna do? You gonna help out with the bills? Like, what you gonna do? You gonna bring me food? Like, what are you doing? You bringing me groceries every week? Like, what's up? Like, what are the benefits for me? You gonna hook me up with free tickets? What are the benefits? Like, I just feel like if a man asks you, let's do friends with benefits, I think women need to explicitly ask the man, okay, what are my benefits? Because we know what your benefits, we know what you imagine your benefits are, but what are mine? Like, what are you gonna do for me?
Okay.
Because I can't mean sex anyway. Like, okay, you giving me sex is not a benefit because I can go outside right now and get some sex. Like, that's not a benefit.
Right.
What value are you adding to
And
my
also,
life?
like,
You make my life. You gonna help me move all this
right.
furniture this weekend? Like, what's up?
Right.
Okay.
And also just to add to that, adding to that, I think women please themselves better with their toys anyway. So a lot of men, I feel like, can get better sex by playing with your toys than with another man.
Like, who is that?
Yeah.
What's her name?
She's not no filter.
Oh my god.
What is her name? I've never seen her.
Okay.
I'm Valentina.
Hi,
Valentina.
Nice to meet you.
Valentina
Hi.
talking about the toys, man.
Valentina keeping it real, like.
Goddess, what do you think about friends with benefits?
I think that it's. I don't know. I don't. I think it's just. I mean, different strokes for different folks or whatever. But I feel like. I feel like something's missing in it. Like I just feel like two people are not really being honest about what they truly want. Um, the only time I could see like maybe friends with benefits working out for someone is if they're both completely honest, and if about their physical needs at least, and maybe even emotional. But the only time I could see that possibly being a thing is if two people are emotionally like not all the way there. Like for example, maybe they like got out of a breakup, and they still might have feelings for their ex or something, or maybe they're still processing that and they know that they can't be in a relationship. So they might not want to fully commit to somebody, but they know that, all right, you know what, maybe friends with benefits might work for me, but I think that, it's still just a tricky. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't work out just from what I've seen, I feel like it doesn't work out and somebody always ends up getting more hurt or I don't know. I'm not
Right.
a
Getting
fan of
hurt.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
I
you should
think
just
Right.
be transparent.
I think that, like, in general, I think women do place more emphasis on like emotional connection in relationships and stuff. But I think there is a segment of women who can engage in friends with benefits if there truly are benefits for her that aren't necessarily emotional but are material. Like I know that's probably not most women, but if you focus on kind of like the goal. I don't know. Have you guys ever read that book Gold Diggers? Not gold, but gold, like
No.
GOAL. Well, the guy
No,
is
I haven't read it now.
so like there's that book, and then of course there's like Whole Tactics by GL Lambert, and I would recommend everybody go read that book. Like everyone should go read that book. But GL Lambert is like, I mean, honestly, his book should be like the Bible when it comes to like women empowerment and dating. He always tells women, like, when you date a man, like, you make sure when you date a man, you attach a goal to him, because that's what they do to women. That's what they do to women. So when men date women,
Right.
they're like, you know what? My goal is to see how fast I can get her in the bed. So your goal should be, ooh, let me see if I can get him to take me to this concert, or let me see if I can get him to buy me this bag, or let me see if I can get him to pay this rent. Like, it gotta be some goal. If you don't attach a goal to it, you gonna get played, because your emotions are all wrapped up and his are not, because he's focused on the goal and you focus on emotional connection. So I think women who kind of understand male psychology and leverage it, and focus on a goal instead of an emotional connection win. Because trust me, the men play women when we emotional. Like they depend on us being emotional and craving emotional connection to play us. That's how they play us when we emotional. But when women decide not to be emotional and decide to be logical and material, that's when it's game over.
Okay, okay.
Me personally, I've never done the friends with benefits thing. I don't think you can work for me. But I mean, because I attach emotions to sex, it's very sacred to me. So, for me to sleep with you, I have to be really connected to you. And after speaking of the goals, yes, my goal would be like, okay, I want to marry this guy one day or have kids with him. That's like the goal that I think about if I open my legs to anybody. I don't think in terms of materials because I've never really needed a man for anything other than my father. So I always think in terms of like family. Will this man be a good husband? I mean, sometimes I do miss that. I mean, I miss that twice, but yeah, but that's how I think. But I do understand your point on goals. Yeah, definitely attach
Yeah. But,
goals,
I
but
mean, just
I've just never
understand that
done the
most
friends
men,
with benefit thing.
right? But just understand that most men aren't thinking about family. They're thinking about something material that you
Right.
have between your legs. They're thinking about something physical you have between your
Ex-
legs. So you should be thinking about something material that they have in
Right.
their. You understand? To make it equal, because it's not
Right.
equal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so we have somebody new here. Sanara? Sandra.
Sandra.
Sandra. Hi, Sandra.
Hello, good evening. So
Hi,
Hello.
Sandra.
I can't sleep, so I was watching this, and I thought I'd call in.
Okay.
It's very refreshing to see an all woman panel. It makes a
Yes.
change, so I
Yes.
appreciate it. And I appreciate what everybody's contributed to the conversation. And since we're talking about goals, and sorry, I don't know everybody's name because your names don't appear on the screen.
Oh,
I think somebody mentioned. Um, uh, yes, women seeking relationships with a particular goal in mind. And I think it's quite interesting. Oh, thank you, Xtina. And I think it's quite interesting that for some, I think for Valentina, the goals refrain very much around family life and the types of relationships that you want. And I think the
Mhm.
goals that Universe was outlining was about a kind of transactional relationship that you can get out of a potential male partner. And I think Universe
Mhm.
mentioned that men are only concerned with the kind of physical pleasure that they can derive from a woman's body, not necessarily the relationship that they may have or the potential relationship that they may have with a woman. For me, I think Universe, I think that's a
Right.
very cynical way to view things. I think, there are men who are seeking a particular type of relationship, whether that be to have a trophy on his arm, or whether that be to have a partner for his family life, or that might even be to have, I guess it's the same as a trophy, but to have somebody who looks good in a workplace or a status symbol. So I think men are seeking for um, do enter or do look for women with relationship goals in mind, but I don't think it's necessarily just about what's in between a woman's legs, as you put it. Some men even seek women because they want to have, children who look a certain way or who are able to move through society in a certain way as well. So I agree very much that as women, if we are pursuing a relationship with a man or a woman, I think any relationship that we're pursuing actually, we should be doing it fully conscious of the type of relationship that we want to have. I think
Right.
I'm talking from my experience, all too
Right.
often
Right. You're
Dating
right.
with a
the
purpose.
bad experience came because I just drifted into something. It was something to do, or I was something to do. That's when the bad experiences came along. So I think, if you want a relationship that's just about fun and that's just about, I don't want to say casual sex, that's just about pleasure, physical pleasure, then, pursue that relationship based on physical pleasure with that in mind. But I think to make those decisions around goals, it takes knowing yourself and it takes spending time in thinking about what it is that you want and being honest with yourself, which is sometimes very difficult.
Right. And it's true that they, sometimes there are men who look for more than what's between a woman's legs, but that's usually the first impulse. And all of us have experienced a man just after that. And you mentioned a man wanting to approach a woman so they could have children that looked a certain way, that can move in this world a certain way. I thought that was a very interesting comment. But I just think the bottom line of it all, Sandra, is that men do not approach women for nothing. They approach women because they're trying to get something from women, whether that be a family, whether that be children. They want you to risk your life birthing children, right? Whether that be they want a wife to do domestic labor for them at home, whether that be a wife to give them status, right? They want something from women. So women should also know what they want from them and focus on what they want.
Absolutely. I mean, most relationships are transactional in nature. And I think to a certain extent, as women in the 21st century, we've been I was going to say brainwashed, but that sounds a bit conspiracy theory-ish. But, we're told that romance and love is all that there is to think about when choosing a life partner. But there are many things, or not even a life partner, a partner full stop. But, there are many things to consider, and what you benefit, what your goals are, what your benefits are from that transaction is a very important part of that.
I don't think brainwashed is so, I don't think it's so inappropriate. I think, if you use that word, it could work. But I just think the issue with women is that we are socialized to put others, the interest of others before our own. And I think, particularly in relationships, women have the most leverage when it comes to, attempting to put our interests first, our wants, our desires, our needs first. And I think women should always have that in the forefront of their mind when entertaining any man for any type of relationship, no matter what it is. Get what you want.
Okay.
Because men are definitely going to try to get what they want, for sure. They're going to put it first. They're going to put themselves first and their interests first.
Okay.
I need to say
y'all
something.
put in the comments.
I need to say something.
Go ahead.
Who blocked me?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see.
Okay.
I didn't see. Lies. Y'all always put your needs first unless it's your child. Stop the cap.
I wanted to kind of brush up on a comment that Danny made earlier about the whole celibacy thing. I agree that, if a woman goes celibate, it doesn't automatically like make her a virgin and like it's just brand new down there. Like I agree. However, I do think that if a woman decides to go celibate, it's allowing her to remove herself from a very strong pleasure that a lot of people have minimal control over. And I think that it allows her, and even men if they want to do it, but it allows one to actually, you know, figure out what it is that they do want. Because if you take sex out of a lot of relationships, you have nothing. You know what I'm saying? You have no type of foundation. You have nothing to like. People lose interest really quick. So you know, I think that women or men, if they want to be celibate, whatever, they should understand why they're doing it. And know that it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna be a nun now. Like, no, like you have to know why you're doing it, and really listen to yourself. I think that's why women go celibate. I just wanted to touch on that a little bit.
Okay. Sandra, so in your mind or in your opinion, how do you feel about again women choosing to be celibate or women just choosing to engage in casual sex? Do you think one choice is better than the other? Do you this is again for single women that are not in any serious relationship? Do you think we should just kind of be free to do what we want? What are your thoughts on that?
So ultimately, I think people should do whatever they want to do. So, man, woman, or of neither gender, people should, consenting adults should be doing whatever it is that satisfies them and the type of life that they want to live. Um, I myself am celibate and have been for a while, and probably will be for a while as well, because I'm not seeking a relationship based on casual sex, or a relationship based on passing the time with somebody, if that makes sense. So until something more committed is on the horizon, then I'll be celibate. And part of my decision around celibacy is because I didn't want to have casual sex, and I think with anyone, not even casual sex, casual relationships with anybody. And as I've been thinking about, again, what are the conditionings that we have around women who are not in relationships with men for whatever reason, we kind of have a default expectation that if a woman is not in a relationship with a man, that or either that a woman's default natural way of being is to be in a relationship with a man, or that historically has been the only way that women have led their lives. But when thinking about it, many sections of society, women in many sections of society have been celibate without a partner, or even celibate with a partner. There's many women out there in sexless relationships as well. There are many different ways in which sex, or intercourse, I should say, shows up or doesn't show up in women's lives. And one of the conversations that was happening earlier, I thought was very interesting. I think you were broadly discussing sexual pleasure. I think it was very interesting that we associate sexual pleasure with only intercourse. I think you were also speaking about oral sex as well. But I think generally speaking, we associate sexual pleasure, or men certainly tend to associate sexual pleasure only with intercourse, or sexual intimacy only with intercourse. There are many ways to be sexually intimate that is not that is outside of just having a kind of penetrative intercourse. So that's a very long answer. People should do what they want. People should think seriously about the type of life that they want to lead, and to work towards not falling into, work towards making purposeful decisions in life, not just letting life happen to them. Like stories that I hear of women who are, waiting for Jesus to bring them a husband, and they've been single for most of their adult life. I find that, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I've heard and I've seen stories like that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I kind of fall into that type of thing. Like, I'm just gonna sit back and just wait till God brings somebody. But I mean, you also have to put in a little effort, I think, at least into putting yourself out there somehow, letting yourself be seen somehow, So Lord said that there are no women in sexist relationships, there are only men in sexist relationships. Do y'all agree with that? Because I always hear men say that women have access to sex a lot more easily than men do. Even though men have the reputation for being like the whores out here. But do y'all agree with that? Do you feel like it is a lot easier for us to, have access to sex than for men?
Yeah, I agree.
I well, yeah, I agree too. Because at the end of the day, the woman has to say yes. She has to agree to the sex. And we do get a lot of offers from different men, but it's up to us to agree to it a lot of times, because men hardly ever say no to sex anyway. So I feel like as women, yes, we get a lot of offers, and it also depends on us to actually agree to that. So I think, yeah, we have a lot of access to sex compared to men, because men they can get turned down a lot, and it's not up to them. Really, it's up to the women. They want to have sex or not. And men, if it was up to them, they'll have sex probably all day long. So I agree.
Okay.
I disagree.
Oh, you disagree?
What am I disagreeing? I think yes, women could. I think yes, not. I think it's can be more straightforward for women to have sex, casual sex. But that's if we're not thinking about who they're having sex with. You know what I mean? For a woman, just it's not like a woman just walks down the street and sees a random man and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go and let him get all up inside me." You know, it. That's not how it operates. And I think we're also kind of for men. I think this expectation that men are these constant sexual or only sexual beings. You know, there are lots of men who have very complex um, intimacy issues that make sex difficult. You know, that there is men have just as much emotional complexity that might lead to having a sexless relationship as women might do. I don't think, you know, I think this expectation that men are deserving of sex all the time is really toxic. When I say deserving, that men automatically deserve sex just because they're a man, or that woman automatically deserves sex just because they're a woman, and they don't have to put any effort into actually having a healthy, intimate relationship or pleasurable relationship. Is really toxic, and that comment actually sounded like a load of incel business to me.
Okay. Yo, why y'all always saying that somebody's capping? What was? Hold on, Danny. Is it just a ladies' night? Wait, what was your comment before that? At what time are you gonna open the panel to the fellas? Oh man, y'all, I was really trying to keep this women only. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I was thinking for the continuing like Women Wednesdays that I do to at some point end this live and then start a new one and let the guys on. I don't know. I mean, if I should maybe start that today, because y'all men in the chat, y'all seem like y'all got a lot to say. But
So I
not
have a
just
question. I have a question for
Go
the men
ahead.
in the chat, and please just let them answer it in the chat before they come and
Yes, and
pollute
ladies, if
up the
y'all got
airwaves.
questions for the men, please ask them too.
Well, this is more generally like, what do they have difficulty listening to women's voices? What is it that they are unable
I
to listen to women's
don't
opinions for an
I
hour and a
don't
half?
know.
Is it that difficult?
Oh, am I staticky? Is it still staticky right now?
You're good now.
Everybody said
You're good now.
capping, the women capping. I don't know why y'all like every time it's a conversation among women and we're like talking about how we feel about certain stuff, blah blah blah. Am I still sounding bad?
You're
Um,
good. You're good on my
Then
end.
like it's always like I have to do it in the cap. Oh, y'all lying, y'all cap and blah blah blah. I'm just like, but why?
Is
It's
it
like are
yeah,
y'all
like is it
judging
that
what
hard to
we're
believe?
saying based on y'all's perspectives as men? Like I'm confused.
Mm.
Like why?
Extend, I have a question for you. So you say you're not gonna let men into this live at all,
I mean, I wasn't
or
trying
you
to.
still
I
thinking
wanted to
about it?
keep it, I don't I wanted to keep it strictly women.
I
If I
think
do listen, if I do have men participate tonight, I would just end this and start a new one because I do want this to be strictly women.
okay,
Because
makes
I
sense.
don't. Because my lives are always almost like 90% men, and I know that a lot of my female viewers they don't join because it can be intimidating with all the guys. So that's why I wanted to do this where it's like just us, so that women will feel more comfortable to come on without a guy on the panel like attacking them.
Right.
Because I can already know
Uh,
if there were guys on the panel right now, oh my god, they would have been going in on us.
I mean, they're
Oh,
being hostile in the chat. I don't see why. You know, they're being hostile in the chat. They'll be hostile if they were calling in as well. And yeah, I think it's interesting. It'll be
I
thank you
think
so
interesting
much,
for the men to
Anissa.
reflect on why
right,
they're being so aggressive
Thank you, Anissa.
and
Thank
so
you.
defensive.
right.
I also wanted to say, like I see where Dusty and Danny were coming from with their thoughts on celibacy. I honestly Like I agree that I think some women or men, whatever, that choose to abstain from sex, I think that sometimes they don't do it with an intention. Like sometimes like it's like, all right, you know what? Maybe they're like, all right, I'll just take a break, because maybe for whatever reason, right? I'll just take a break, and they're like, oh, I'm celibate, da 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 da, and then a few months later, you see that they're they broke that, and it's because I feel like they're not intentional, and it's kind of like sex is one of those things that I feel like you should master. You shouldn't let it master you, you know? Um, but a lot of people can't even fathom that idea, you know? And I don't blame them because it's ingrained in our society. Sex sells, it's all around us, and it controls a lot of the decisions we make, even the smallest things, if you really think about it. Um, but some people don't actually have, like, they're kind of doing it, I don't want to say the wrong reasons, but they don't have like a strong intention as to why they're doing it. So they could easily break it, or, you know, they're not true, they're not true to it, or it's like, oh, they're not being honest with themselves, pretty much.
Yo, and Gisidro said I should invite a traditional nun to spice things up for the glory of God. Oh man. They're giving us the PG-13 version of how they really feel. Oh my god. See, this I can't with y'all. Y'all always think somebody lying. Women claim to be celibate while having a dude on the low for regular tune-ups. Well, at that point, you're not celibate.
Hmm.
Okay, so ladies on the channel, do y'all feel that
Mm-hmm.
since this keeps getting brought up, do you feel like a lot of women are dishonest about their sexual past or encounters? Because you always hear women or men say that women lie. We're always lying about either our body count, what we've done, whatever number she tells you, multiply it by 5. Like, do y'all believe that a lot of women are dishonest about that type of stuff?
Uh,
I don't know about a lot of women. Sorry,
at least,
I don't know
oh,
about a lot of
sorry.
women. I know me personally, but sorry, yeah, I was saying I don't know about a lot of women, but I know I'm not lying about mine, but I feel like men can tell, right? You can tell when somebody has many body counts, right? Don't like the punanis look different? I don't know. One looks old, the one looks almost brand new, right? I would think so. To
I
tell.
disagree. I disagree. You need to watch more porn. And you see there's a variety of pussy out there. You cannot tell how much intercourse a woman has had, because there's some porn stars out there, that are young and tiny, that look like they haven't been taking two dicks a week for 2 years. So no, I disagree.
Wow. Okay,
What about you,
that's good
Goddess?
to know.
I feel like
Women out here capping or being dishonest?
I feel like people lie in general, like so I get where they coming from. I get it, I think a little pessimism is always, good. Uh I think people do lie, and the only way you're really gonna know is how they move and how they act, and really getting to know them, like I said. So, um, yeah, people could tell you whatever they want. They could sell you a dream, whatever. You're not gonna know until you get to know them, and that's just what I think. I mean, at least from my personal experience, my girlfriends or whatever, like I feel like they always kept it real, and I keep it real with them. Like I had a friend, I had to tell her straight up. I was like, nah, you don't do shit like that. So it's just like anytime, like at least the people I'm around, we always keep it real with one another. That's just I could just speak for myself. But if I'm gonna listen to a stranger or whatever, of course I'm gonna always have that room for maybe they're not telling the truth, and if they're not, that's on them. you
Mm-hmm.
know like it is what it
Right.
is.
And also, right, and also, doesn't the size also determine somebody's line if it's too loose or tight? You think that's how you can tell somebody's lying, right? I'm on 2%. My phone might die any minute soon. I'm gonna have to charge you, but I don't know. I feel like that's the way you can tell somebody's lying. If you're with them, there should be a way to tell by just looking at somebody's vagina, how they feel. I don't know. You guys have more experience than me. I don't have two body counts, so I don't know.
Vaginas are like penises; they come in all different shapes and sizes. So yeah, I think after a woman has children, there might be changes, or even with age, as your body ages, your body changes. But no, it's you can't tell how many partners somebody has had necessarily. Um, but I will say on the issue about telling someone about their body count, I think somebody asking you about your body count on the first few dates or the first few times they're meeting you doesn't deserve to know about your private business. I think this idea that on the first date they'll ask you, well, maybe not the first date, but the first few dates they'll ask you what your body count is.
The guy asked me that on the first day. I'd be like, what?
Exactly.
Turn
So,
off.
that shouldn't even be a subject of conversation as you're getting to know somebody. That's for when you're thinking about, when you talk about marriage or you're talking about some kind of long-term commitment, not when you're just kind of casually dating people.
Gotcha. Okay, so Xena make a new live. This one ran its course. Julie left because these women capping. Oh my god! If I can't ask body count, then don't ask my job. Damn. Oh my
Well, then that just
gosh.
shows you what he's valuing in a woman. If what you're valuing in a woman is how many people she has or hasn't had sex with, and that's what you value, well and good. They expect to be lied to.
I understand where she's coming from, but why is it important to know what a man does for work on the first date? The body count issue only comes up if a man wants to upgrade. If he never brings it up, he will not marry you, most likely. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious, like how important is that to the men in the chat? Like how important is that? Knowing your
Okay, so we know
woman
that
into
Dusty
woman.
likes the high mileage. Okay.
Mm.
So you like the girls have been around, he's experienced, I guess. By that metric, it shows what most women are really thinking. Hmm. Yeah, because I don't know, I've heard guys say that they definitely care, and especially when it comes to wifing a woman up, they don't want a woman that's like been around a whole lot. But I've also heard some guys say that they don't really care, and that at the end of the day, you never really know the true number anyway. So I don't know, guys in the chat, do y'all really care or do you not? Or do you only care when it comes to specific situations? On this episode of Capping None. Oh my gosh, you guys. Women like high mileage too. Okay, so now that he brings that up, I do think there is some truth to that because, in having girl talk with some of my friends, I know that it's like the opposite where, you know, I've heard girlfriends of mine say like when they find out that the guy they may be talking to or whatever maybe hasn't been with that many women, it actually makes them kind of double think whether they really want to engage with that guy or not. Because I mean, I think the thing that comes to mind is, oh, he might not know how to really please me. He's not going to know maybe what he's doing or blah blah blah. So I think there is some truth to that. Um, I don't know. Do you guys agree with that? Because there was somebody that I was like, talking to, and I knew that, for a guy, especially a guy their age, they had a very low count for a guy. And I remember I used to think about it like, that's interesting. I don't know. Is this guy going to know? Like, if I were to have, been intimate with him, would he know what he's doing? Blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Me personally, I don't know. Uh, I like I don't know if it's maybe because I'm younger or just the way I think, but it kind of turns me off. Like I don't know. It could be also an insecurity, like just me thinking that that person was with so many women. I'm like, oh my god,
That's the flip
like
side.
it turns me off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand that that may be the reality for a lot of men. And yeah, I that's just me. I think it's kind of like like I don't like it like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
high STD exposure. I think somebody mentioned earlier about masturbating or using women to masturbate inside of. You can have a high body count and not be doing anything, or have a high body count and it just be an extension of masturbation. Or you can have been with a partner for a long time and a way around a woman's body. But for me, it's more important that a woman knows how she wants to be pleased and she has a partner willing to please her that way than it is to think about
Right.
body count.
Okay.
I
Okay.
agree.
Yes, well,
Mhm.
women are still hiding out. I don't know why. They, yeah, a high body count and not doing anything. What the fuck does that even mean? Yeah, I don't know. It's like
I'll
I
tell
don't
you
know.
what it means. I'll tell you what it means, right? A man can go to a club and get I don't know how to put this delicately, and have intercourse in the parking lot of one club a week, every week for a year, 2 years, 3 years, all throughout his 20s, whatever. That doesn't mean that he knows how to please a woman. That just means he knows how to get his thing
Right.
out in a club parking lot
That's
and put
true.
it inside somebody. Doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Okay.
If we're thinking about body count and somebody's
Mm.
skills as a lover, yeah, it is,
Mhm.
yeah, meaningless.
Yeah. I think I definitely agree with that. Because at first I was thinking, if he hasn't been around, doesn't have enough experience, doesn't have to please you. But you make a very good point because some men have been around, but they're still selfish and they don't know how to please a woman. So that's a very good point you make. I agree.
Hey Stephanie, what's up?
Hi, how is everybody?
Hey, doing
Stephanie.
good.
That's good.
All right, Stephanie. So I know you've been in the chat for a little bit. What are your thoughts on what you've kind of heard us talking about so far? Whether it's the celibacy thing, the casual sex, or just sex in general, like everything you've kind of been hearing.
Well, I'm pro celibacy. I think women should be celibate in between relationships, at least in between relationships. You know,
Okay.
I'm not a fan of like the casual, there's too much risks and I don't think you should be having sex with someone. Like someone mentioned on the panel earlier, like if you don't see yourself actually having like a family and a child with that person and you know that that would be like a stable relationship, like I don't think you should. Because you never know, like things can happen, like birth control can fail, morning after pill can fail,
Mm-hmm.
and you just raise your risks, like your chances of getting pregnant. Like there are a lot of women out there that have had multiple abortions just because they're irresponsible.
Yeah, they basically use abortion as birth control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. That's true.
Morena, what's up, Morena?
Hi, Tina.
Hi.
Hello, ladies.
Hey. Is this your second time on one of my streams, Morena? Second or
Yeah,
third?
yeah, second time.
Second time. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I know you've been listening for a while too. So what are your thoughts on everything that you've heard us talk about so far?
I mean, based on the thumbnail, the topic on the thumbnail, you're not getting any information to really say celibacy or polygamy or anything because no one's there. No one on the panel is really experienced. I don't know if that's for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I mean that I was hoping to get people of like different experiences, but yeah, I mean you never know who's gonna join the panel.
I mean,
But anyway.
I didn't have my kids till I was in, my early 30s, so I did get to experience a little bit more, and based on that, sex wasn't for marriage,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I'm getting from most of the ladies on the panel. Like, you use condoms, you use birth control, and if something happens, with the guy that you're seeing, it'll happen. And then if it doesn't work out, you move on. Not that you're focusing just on sex, but you don't look at the guy that you end up with like, okay, that's the guy I might marry. You don't even know if he's gonna be marriage material until you're like well into that relationship. So,
well, I don't.
It seems unrealistic. Most of the stuff I'm hearing.
No, well,
Morena, can I ask how you're defining celibacy? Because I'm celibate. Can I ask how? I want to ask how you're
defining celibacy.
Yeah, because I'm celibate and I have been for the past 8 years
That's
or
abstinence.
so.
Celibacy to me is abstinence. You're not having sex.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not having sex and I'm not dating.
Okay, but the topic is about people who are actually. It appears to me that they're having sex so they can. It doesn't. I didn't see celibacy on there. I saw. Maybe I saw it wrong.
Maybe you're thinking about the title of Fighter Stream. His was polygamy.
No. Oh yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the title of your stream? Tina? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. So this one is about celibacy versus casual sex, and also.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of just hear from just different.
So celibacy, right? Once you're at that stage where you want to get married and have children, you should become celibate, right? That's my opinion. I don't know if it makes sense to you, right? Let's say you didn't have kids, Tina.
Mm-hmm.
You're in your 20s and you're just dating now, right? So you're not going to be celibate per se. You're not going to be a hoe, but you're not going to be celibate.
No,
right?
No.
And let's say you're approaching your 30s and you're like, you know what? I want to start having kids now. I want to get married, blah, blah, blah. So you're gonna abstain from sex because now this is what your focus is going to be. Okay. Does that make sense? Because that's basically what I did.
Okay.
Once I started approaching my 30s and I didn't have a kid yet or anything like that, and I wasn't in a serious relationship, that was my focus. Then I met someone, we were committed, I had my son, we were together for 16 years. But prior to that, I wasn't celibate per se, because that wasn't my focus. Because I was still young.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if everybody here in the chat or on the panel was necessarily saying that sex is only for marriage. I mean, I said at the very beginning that, when I was a teenager, that was my mindset, that.
No, most girls do.
Yeah. And, I carried that mentality up until the beginning of college, pretty much. But obviously that didn't happen. But and even now, like I said,
you met somebody you were serious with, though, Tina. You did.
Yeah. But okay, like the religious side of me would say yes. Ideally, it should be between a husband and a wife. But realistically, at my age, and again, I'm a woman out here with 2 kids. Like, what man is going to wait to get married?
Well, no, your situation, you do have to move different, right? And it's not. And yeah, I would think. I wouldn't just sleep with anybody that you meet, right?
Mm-hmm. No, of course.
Based on your situation now, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, when you're seeing somebody, I think the guy that you're going to even give a chance to is going to be somebody who you might potentially see with something serious, right? You're not casually dating. You're dating to get that ultimate commitment, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with that now in your situation.
Okay.
If you're 30 and you're childless and your focus isn't to have kids and get married, then why be so celibate?
Okay.
That's just the way I'm thinking about it.
Okay. A woman doesn't need to be celibate for marriage just until the right partner comes along. Yeah, at this point, at least for me,
Blood Moon came back. Thank you, Blood Moon. I'm sorry, Tina.
No, you're good. Wow, Desi says celibate equals useless woman. Like, I don't know. It's like hard to talk about without really putting yourself out there too much. No, I already did, but I don't know.
You didn't. You were honest. And the way you're putting it for your situation, it would make sense. Like my son is 17. It's going to be 17 now, right? So I could start dating again.
Yeah,
You
true.
got two little ones. I mean, that wouldn't even have been in my head to see somebody while he's young. Because I
Mm.
can't move the same as if I was single with no kids. If I was childless, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
If I was childless, that makes a difference to me.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Valentina, you don't think so, Valentina?
So
Because you got
I agree
little
with
ones.
you, Maureen. I agree with you. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I have two little ones. Oldest son is 8 and I have
Lemon,
a
I'm not being
1 year
desperate.
old.
What do
So
you
yeah, so
mean? No, so that was. I'm not being desperate.
huh?
she's not being so
So
desperate.
you
We're
know,
just
How you
talking
get
about if she
desperate
does
from
see
that?
somebody's going to be for that. It's not going to be
so,
casual.
right. So Maureen, I agree. Yeah, so Maureen, I agree with you. Like if you have if you have little kids or even kids that are minors, you have to be extra careful because you don't want to be
Definitely.
sleeping around and bring all these men around your kids.
It's
You're
not
looking
even
for
sleeping. It's what you do
a
at home.
life partner, not just for yourself,
Hmm.
right? A life partner, not just for yourself, but also a father for your kids, or if you,
Right.
well, a stepfather, like a good father for your kids. So you have to move differently because you're looking for two people for yourself and for your kids, or
Correct.
one person for to play both roles, husband and father to your children. So you have to be
Hmm.
careful. Yep, I agree.
Damn, I
So,
thought this
so,
was part of this topic. I'm like, what the hell y'all talking about?
so, I, so,
I'm
are
sorry.
there not women with children who would just be looking for a sexual encounter?
I'm sorry. I missed that. What did you say?
So women with children, women with small children under the age of 10,
Hmm.
the way that you're outlining it or
Mm.
the way that you're talking about your experiences seems to imply that women with young children couldn't just be looking for a sexual encounter.
Oh, they can, but they have other responsibilities. It's like when I didn't have any children, everything I did, the consequences fell on me. Now, if you
Right,
have young children, every move you make falls on yourself and your children.
right,
So you can't move through the world or move
exactly.
through the dating
And you
world
also you
like
don't want to be
you don't
out.
have children. Hmm?
Right, that's true.
That,
But yeah, but
that's
you have
just
to
how I
think
feel.
about also your health because if you're out there just having casual sex, right? If you're having
Yeah,
casual sex and you have to think about your health, if you get sick, it can affect your kids. You just have to be extra careful because now you have to worry about your kids and yourself. Not just it's not like a selfish act anymore because you're not single anymore. So I understand what
exactly.
Marina
That's what
is
I'm
saying. You have to
saying.
be just
Yeah,
extra careful
definitely.
and think about your kids.
So children make a difference. If you have children, it makes a difference on how your sexual how you're gonna handle sexuality,
Well, that
right?
is true. That's
I
true.
think
I
so.
mean,
Now, if you're single, then you can basically do it any way you want now without judgment because it's just you.
mm.
Right, exactly.
That's how
Well,
I
my
always feel.
casual encounter, whatever I've had, I mean, it had been so long. At that point, I was like, fuck it. I mean, just get real. But that's not
Mhm.
something that I do on the regular. Definitely not.
Te picaba y te jactaste. Happens. You didn't bring the man
Well,
home.
okay. Well, maybe you do know. I mean, listen, once you've gone years, plural,
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
listen, the opportunity, like,
Hey,
the
no
right
judgment over here,
opportunity,
Tina. I mean, it
yeah,
happens.
the right opportunity comes along and, do look good, whatever.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
is what it is. But yeah,
They call you a bunny. I was waiting for that
it's
conversation, Dusty.
not something I do on a regular because at the end of the day, it's also kind of pointless. So
Yeah, yeah. Look at
it's
that.
Was
not
it worth it at the time though?
Dusty saying cat, but I mean, again, take into account. Well, I don't know, maybe you didn't hear, but what I went through. So I was not thinking about sex for a long time.
All right. Huh?
Ella, ella por lo menos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Love.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. You're human.
Yeah, yeah, you know,
It happens.
yeah.
So for the women with children, with young children, then, so do you expect not to date or have a sexual relationship until they're older?
Not
Well,
necessarily.
me,
Or go ahead, Valentina.
um, me personally,
Especially
like right
having
now,
kids.
I'm on my way out of a marriage right now. Yeah, I'm on my way out of a marriage right now. So I am, lining up. I'm not dating. I'm getting to know people. nothing intimate, nothing sexual, nothing. Just getting to know people, their mind. So yeah, so I'm not. So yeah, so I have people I'm talking to, but not on a serious like relationship, just friendship. So once I meet a great guy who I feel like could be a great father to my kids and would be a good husband, yeah, I'll open up myself to him, and I'm only gonna bring him around my children if I feel like he's very serious and he's a healthy person mentally as well. So yeah, I'm not gonna have sex right now until I know I meet the right person. So I'm saving myself for my next husband, basically. So and so I'm gonna be a born again virgin up until I meet the right guy. So no sex for me for now.
It just might happen for you, Valentina. You might become a born again virgin.
Now until I meet the right guy who's gonna be my
We're
husband
dating
and my
like
kids' father.
Yeah. And what about you, Morena?
But I do have a toy. I do have a very nice toy that does the job, so I'm not complaining.
Oh,
My son is over 15.
yo, Valentina keeps it real, yo.
I can move a little differently now. He's almost an adult.
So, well, my kids are 5 and 7. I don't expect that I'm going to be just. I'm not going to be with anyone.
You're not gonna casually have sex.
Because I feel like I'm still like in my prime. Like I don't want to just waste it.
Yeah, but you have kids, right?
I'm not going to be out here moving crazy either.
That's the price you have to kind of pay, Tina, because then you have to set an example for and you got daughters, right? So you got to set an example. So you can't really move like that.
But surely you can
No,
have
of course.
a private
I
life.
don't do that anyway. I don't move like that anyway. But I don't necessarily see anything wrong with trying to find a potential, serious partner, even now while they're so younger.
Yeah, you have to. How's it gonna happen if you're not?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I don't feel like, or I don't think that I'm going to just wait until they're like, I don't know, 10 or 15 and then start thinking about trying to get into a relationship. So I don't know. Right,
because you already have your kids. That's what I'm saying. When I was in my 20s, I wasn't thinking about that. Then when I was approaching my 30s, that's what was in my, So I said, okay, now I have to get serious, refrain from doing whatever I'm doing, and focus on meeting somebody to potentially get married and have kids with. The marriage didn't come. It was kind of like you, but the relationship came, and my son came, and we were together for over a decade.
Blamusa,
but I decided at that point.
Yeah.
Blamusa, what?
She said, Xtina, you found him, the perfect mate.
I don't think anybody's looking for perfection. You're just looking for potentials. Like,
yeah, no, I'm not looking for
exactly right.
Mate, that doesn't
exist. Just a good man with a good heart who's gonna protect you and love you like Christ loves the church and died for it. Mm-hmm. That kind of man.
Bueno, that kind. Bueno.
You don't want to add a good dick to that list, Valentina?
What? Wait, what did you say?
Yeah,
What's the name of the English lady? What's your name? What'd you say?
What's the name of the English?
That's a good dick to them.
She said you don't want to find good.
All I heard was you want to add a good deed to that. I didn't. What you said before that?
No, that's exactly what I said. Valentina had a list. Short list, but a good list.
Yeah, no. A good deal comes. No, actually, I hear you. A good deal comes with you, but I feel like for me right now, I'm looking for a man with a good heart, who really loves God and, who's going to love me like Christ loved the church, because Christ died for the church. When you love a woman, you're going to die for, you're going to sacrifice for her. So I want that kind of man next.
So you're going to settle Valentina? He's
Jesus'
a good man,
name, I receive him. Amen.
So you want a good man, but you probably won't.
Am I gonna do what, honey?
You just want to find a good man, but you possibly are willing to risk being sexually satisfied because he's gonna be a good daddy and he's gonna be a Christian man.
You know what? I don't really care. For sex, I feel like you can compensate for a good sex. I've never really gotten with a man just because he was good in bed. I was more like how he made me feel. I feel like sex. I can show him how to please me. That's how it's a big deal. But once we are together, I'll get pleasure in one way or another. So it's not a big deal. I need more a good heart.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. You can always train him up.
Both. I need both.
Yeah,
She was like, wait,
can definitely train him.
Like, again, I mean, that's what they're calling people old. Listen, I'm 33. I consider myself still young. I can't. I don't know.
Dusty's trolling. Don't
Maybe
listen
if I was older, I'd be like, the sex, it doesn't really matter. But no, like, no.
Delusions of grandeur. Who's delusional?
No, I hear you. Like, sex matters to me. Like, right. No,
Sex
no,
matters to
but
you, Valentina, 'cause you made
don't get me
you made a
wrong. Sex
comment
is
on another
important.
panel.
I might be 42, but I'm actually yes.
That doesn't
Sex
matter, though.
matters. Sex
Don't
matters
listen
to
to me.
me in a lot of ways. It does, but to me, it's like okay. But my thing is like, for example, like, I might be 42, but honestly, I'm forever 25 because I don't even look 42. I don't even look 42, and my body is not even 42. My body is 25. But my thing is like, sex is good, but I feel like I have other stuff that are more important to me. Sex, I can teach my partner how to please me, so that's not a big thing really for me. Because I mean, even if it's not that good, I'll teach him how to please me. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But sex is important. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, so sex is it will play a factor in the potential mate that you meet. Yes,
Is
Valentina.
that Valentine? Valentine?
Oh Lord, what happened to Stephanie?
She dropped off. I don't know. Denise, what's up, Denise?
Hi guys. What's
Hey.
Hola,
up?
Denise.
Hola
Hey, Denise.
Morena. It was nice to be here with Morena. I've never been here with Morena.
Yeah, Morena is cool. Sorry, Morena, I was on mute.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So that's the part that you're looking for that too. Then a good man, a Christian man, and
So basically.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm definitely looking for that. Yeah, definitely. But if he has all the other stuff, because I have a very long list. If everything else matches just fine, and it only lacks in the sex department, that's not going to be a deal breaker for me.
Gotcha. You go work with that.
Right.
Okay, makes sense.
So Denise, I don't know how much you've heard so far, but what you've heard recently, what do you think about the topic?
Well, I came in late because I came from the gym, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So, what is the dilemma today between? Because I saw that it was celibacy versus what was the other thing? Casual sex. So basically, what's the dilemma? Like, if you're willing to just look, I see it this way: the whole celibacy thing. It has to be when you're still a virgin. Like, women that have been sexually active should not be speaking about celibacy. Like, if you already gave it up, just like, there's who you're saving that for. Let's just be honest. The problem, in my opinion, of course, is that
I'm so glad you're on the panel, Denise.
I'm gonna get grilled for this, but to be honest with you, the thing is that a lot of women, unfortunately, a lot of us don't understand like how this whole sex thing happens or how men see sex, in my opinion. I'm not saying go out and have like crazy sex and ramp up your numbers. No, ladies, that's not what I'm saying. But if you're dating men with the intention to marry, and you're dating a man that's marriage material, why are you holding up the sex? Because you're not a virgin. You already gave that up to somebody else. So why your prospect husband should get less than the man before him? That makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense.
Well, I disagree. I disagree. I feel like you can still save yourself up for your next man. The fact that you went a couple of months, years without anybody going there, you kind of like sacrifice your little pleasure for him. And of course, by the time he enters you, you're gonna be very tight anyway. So that's like a little gift for him as well. So
What
you're like
gift?
starting
You
fresh.
already
So I think it makes sense.
you're not. There's no way for you to start fresh. You already gave it up to to another man.
No, you're
That's not
starting
your
fresh in
husband.
a way because well, yeah, well, it's not your husband, but you're still starting fresh because you saved yourself, even if for 3 months or a year, you still kept yourself just for him. I mean, times have changed. You're not gonna get a whole virgin anymore. So you get a little born again virgin for a short time. At least you
There are
kept
women that
herself
are
for you.
virgins.
Yeah, there are,
No,
but they're
there are
not that
women.
many anymore.
Well,
I
there
mean,
are
unless
women
they're
that
like
are.
12 or
But this is
18,
the thing. But this is the
18.
thing. This is the thing. You can't
Mhm.
expect to get married to a man that knows already. You say you're 42, right? You can't expect
Yeah,
a
forever
man to
25.
think that you're a virgin. And to be honest with you, you're almost half a century. You're almost 50. So,
Right, but I don't have
not
full
to
body
be,
count. So my vagina is really 25 years old.
no, it's not. You
Yes, it
cannot carry,
is.
no. If you go to any
But
gynecologist,
okay.
to keep it real, look, if you if you go to any gynecologist, they do not advise any woman to carry a child after 42. So if unless you're gonna be married in the next month or so and start your pregnancy,
Mhm.
your vagina is not necessarily
Well,
25. It's not. Mine is not 25 and I'm
well,
33.
it depends. I think it depends on how well you took care of your body too. Because like I'm a health fitness nut, so I always take very good care of my body. I don't drink alcohol. Never been drunk in my life, so my body is really very youthful. So it just depends how you took care of your body. Everybody's different. Like I had my last child at 40, and he has no problems at all. And I can probably pop out 2 more kids if I wanted to, But everybody's
Ma'am,
body is different. And I'm black. Black
Valentina,
people are also age differently. Mm.
Valentina, just because your face looks
Yes,
30, that doesn't mean your vagina pushed out a whole person. It's not the same.
only once. Only once.
It doesn't matter. It pushed out a whole human.
But
It's not the
but
same.
in
Right.
the
No,
case of
no,
Valentina,
I
who's
agree with
is,
I agree with you.
but
I
Valentina,
agree with you, but honestly, like just
the men that you're
mhm.
talking to are your age or older, right? So they will be 50 or in their late 40s, I'm assuming.
No.
So wouldn't
I can't do no, I can't do older than me. They have to be a little bit younger because I look very young and my body's very young. I'm not gonna waste my youthfulness on somebody's like an old man with a dysfunctional pee. No,
you really do have a long
no.
list. We'll add that age to your list.
I am
Um,
Yeah, I
Valentina.
cannot do older than me. No.
but
I
I
need
mean,
a healthy
imagine it
pee.
would.
Thank you.
She's like, I'm not gonna waste it with no old man. You can get somebody 30. So he might not want 2 kids. Valentina. He might not want two
I
kids.
look like I'm under 30. I look under 30 so I can get away with it. Even my body feels and looks under 30. So yeah,
So maybe
I
you
took
can
care
get
of myself.
an older man with a lot of money since you look
Have you
under
been
30.
married, Valentina? Have you been married? You don't mind me
Yes,
asking?
yes, I have. Yes, I have.
For how long?
Um, for a good while. I don't want to put my years out there because I don't want too much. But yeah, but I've been married. I've been married.
So your vagina has been overused.
Not not
So
not
you're
really
saying
because well,
no,
yes, been
but look at it this way. You have to look at it how men look at it because at the end of the day,
right.
a man is the one that's going to make
Mm-hmm.
use of your vagina, not you.
That's
So it doesn't
true.
matter what
You're
you or
right.
me think about your vagina. It's what literally
Right.
men think about your vagina. You're a 42-year-old woman that's divorced with a
Mm-hmm.
child that she pushed
Mm-hmm.
out. 42. We have a
Well,
lot of young
right.
women. You're basically saying that your vagina is better than any college girl out there. And I'm sorry if I'm gonna
So
be too
honestly,
graphic. No, but hold on,
right.
but hold on.
Mhm.
You're saying that your 42-year-old vagina that has been married and used
Mhm.
and pushed out a whole human out of it, you're saying that
Mhm.
it's better
Mhm.
than, and I'm sorry if I'm graphic, that tighter
Oh no,
vagina
no, you're okay, honey.
in college that are competing for the men you say that you want. You literally have no dog
Yeah.
in this fight.
No, I do because my husband, ex-husband to be, he's young, and and Yeah, my pussy is very tight. Sorry, I don't mean to say that. Maybe it's genetically or what, but I have a very young pussy. So my thing is like,
Oh my God.
okay, let's not talk about me anymore.
Bueno.
I am an okay guys, I'm an
Valentina has
Aries. I'm
spoken.
an Aries. I'm an Aries, and I'm very straightforward and blunt. So let's not talk about me anymore because I don't have filter. Okay, let's talk about somebody else.
I'm not blushing,
Okay,
Valentina,
hold on,
because I
y'all. We
just
got
like your
somebody else
your
here.
frankness.
Sid, what's up, Sid?
Hey,
Hey.
Hi, Sydney.
Hey, girl.
that is hilarious.
All right, Sid. So, what are your thoughts on what you've been hearing so far in the general topic?
Okay, I've been in and out for maybe like 15 minutes.
Mhm.
So it changed drastically in the last like 5 minutes. I guess what exactly is the topic now? Are y'all saying whether or not somebody could be a born again virgin?
Girl, it's been kind of all over. I mean, the general topic has been, just women either having casual sex or choosing to be celibate, or I mean, just kind of like sex in general. I don't know, like, okay, when it comes to like women engaging in casual sex or choosing to be celibate, single women, of course. What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like one is a better choice or option for women than the other? Like, what do you think?
Well, I'm a prude, so I'm gonna say I'm obviously gonna say I think it's best that women um keep it's if you don't have a man that's investing in you, I don't think he deserves to experience you on that level. That's my experience. I mean, my opinion. Um, because I don't know. I just feel like women just get very emotional. Um, I don't know. I feel like it complicates things when you sleep with multiple people. That's my opinion. That's
Okay.
my opinion. So I think women could be celibate and be born again virgins. I mean, is a man gonna look at you like, oh, she's so pure and innocent? No, but I think a man could respect the fact that you are, choosing to disengage from that. That's my opinion.
Okay. Does anybody agree or disagree with what Sid said?
Hmm. Bueno, she has her she's focused on getting married eventually and having children, so that's why she's moving the way she's moving. That's why she's saying what she's saying. So that makes sense. If that's what her focus is.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right.
think that's a big part of it too. At the end of the day, it depends what your goal is.
Exactly.
So,
So
Right. Now I think the circumstances are different. Like it does have to do with age and stuff. So, but I think ultimately,
in my
even
20s,
like
that wasn't my focus on my goal in my 20s. Once I started approaching my 30s, I was like, okay, I don't have any kids. I'm not serious with anyone, so my focus changed.
So we're discussing what
I
women's
think
goals
that's
are
the
at different stages in life,
I
but how
think I
do
don't know.
men's
What'd you say,
goals
Sydney?
change?
Sydney
No, I
might say
was gonna say I think that's the problem is like in at least in our society,
hmm
young women are encouraged to just be out here and do whatever, and
I
then they
wasn't
want to
encouraged.
settle
That's
down
just the way I
after.
moved. That was just the way I moved. I wasn't encouraged. I grew up in a very Catholic Christian home, and no, that wasn't the focus. That's just the way I moved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Sandra, what was you saying? I'm sorry.
So I was asking, we were discussing how women's goals or priorities in relationships change at different stages in life, and we've heard a kind of a range from the panel, how that shapes their decisions around how they express their sexuality. Let's say, how does that change for men in your experience? I thought when we were asking Valentina, I thought we were going to get to reflect on what a 40-plus-year-old man might think of virginity, but yeah, how do you think men in different stages of life think about a woman's sexual experience? So does a 50-year-old still want a virgin, basically?
I think that would be completely unrealistic. Like if you have a 50-year-old man and y'all are both around that age and he's expecting that, I think that's unrealistic, of course. But I think just because you know, if you're a woman, you've been divorced and you've had like one partner, two partner, I think that's completely different than being a woman that's had a multiple partners. I feel like it's still different, like being sexually conservative versus not being that.
Okay. We have somebody new here. Angelica Rich. Are you there?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Hold on. Hello?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just got in here.
Okay, you're fine. So are you, well, I haven't seen your name before, but welcome.
Hi.
So I don't know how much you've caught of the stream so far, but did you have anything you wanted to add as far as what you have heard up to now?
No, not at the moment. I just literally got in here.
Okay. Okay.
But as the conversation goes on, then I'll have something to say.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Especially for the men. I know this is probably, like somebody was saying it depends on age and whatnot. But I want to know, like, do the men still value virgins? Because I feel like if a woman were to tell a man, depending on what mindset he's in, but I feel like for the most part, if a woman tells a man like, "Hey, I'm a virgin" or whatever, he's gonna be like kind of cautious, and he's gonna know that he's gonna have this idea like, "Oh, I can't really run game on her like that." So I feel like sometimes if you're in that predicament, it could kind of turn off a guy. Obviously not the right guy, but I don't know. I feel like, do guys really value that? Do they really cherish that if they were to have that?
Mm.
You're expecting a man to have morals?
Yes.
Right.
I'm curious to see what the guys have to say about that too. All right,
Yo,
well,
double
that's already said. I'll only wait for a virgin goddess. Otherwise, let's get it in. Okay. Oh, okay. A lot of comments just came in. Okay. Yes, they are valued. However, if he just wants to smash, he will try it, and if unsuccessful, he will keep it moving. Okay. The lower the body count, the better for a long-term relationship. Whoops. All men in any society values women with their card because we see them as something we need to either conquer or be the one to conquer or be the one to deflower. So you think it's a matter of conquest? Most men will like a virgin, or regardless, they would like to be the first. Men know that the chance of a woman being a virgin, especially if she's hot, is slim to zero. Okay. Women, men, whatever. Find someone who's on your same stage in life. Be realistic. That's true.
That makes sense. That one makes total sense right there.
Okay.
Interesting.
The sexual revolution of the 60s put a stop to all that men are just trying to adapt to the current environment. It would be nice to have a virgin in this day and age, but it's practically impossible.
The men
Okay.
are different too. They complain about femininity, but the men are different these days too, so they can't.
No virgin
If you
anymore.
didn't live it, you can't compare it to that because you didn't even grow up with that. So it's like it's a moot
Yes,
point.
that's a great point.
Mm-hmm. So that's why so what Sydney's looking for, that's why it's not like readily available, right, Sydney? Because most men don't know to move that way, to meet somebody and court them and then get married and have children, because they didn't even grow up that way. But when they say that, it's like, why are you saying that when you know you didn't grow up that way? That's men from the 50s, 60s, So don't put it on women these days. Now they're trying to come back to what it used to be like, but you're making it seem like what happened in the past, or the way women moved in the past is their fault today. Sydney can't control how her grandmother moved 40 years ago.
Yeah, that's the thing with these guys. Like, I can see where they're coming from, but I don't think they realize most women are on the same level as most men. So they have
Right.
so much to say about, oh, women are so promiscuous, blah, blah, blah. But who's making women promiscuous?
It takes two.
Right.
Takes two.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ladies. I have to leave the panel. I have to get into a sauna. This was lovely, Extina. Thank you, ladies, as well for your input. I had fun.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
gonna
you
be
for
following the
coming.
chat. I
Take care, Valentina.
Take care, Valentina.
Bye,
Enjoy
everything.
your sauna, Valentina, and enjoy your toys as well.
Have fun, Valentina.
That song is gonna keep it nice and
I love you,
tight.
ladies.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
So I'm
Okay.
just seeing in the chat messages from Mermaid. Is it Mermaid Barbie?
Yeah.
Facts gains, facts gains.
Yeah, it's
That
making
she got
me
made
very
fun of
sad
being a
that
virgin.
she experienced that.
You know, my
So,
interestingly enough, my
mm,
experience being like when I was still a virgin, like back in high school, so it was actually quite different. For whatever reason, like everybody knew. I guess because it was such like an anomaly at that point that like, you know, for a junior or a senior to still be a virgin. I don't know. But everybody knew I was still a virgin. Like literally everybody. All the girlfriends, all the guys that we hung out with, they all knew. But they're all like, I don't know, they treated me with like a lot of respect because of it. I was like that girl, was like, none of us can mess with her. If I can't mess with her, none of y'all can mess with her. Like nobody could touch me, type of thing. They all, I don't know, they treated me like I don't know.
To the
I didn't
respect
have
of
a
the
bad
fact that you're still a
experience
virgin.
with everyone knowing that I was still a virgin back then. I don't know.
Because most girls in high school they choose to give it up. I was the last one of my friends. Trust me, they gave it up so soon that I was like, what?
Yeah, that was pretty much
Yeah.
that was me.
Yeah, so I guess people, they respect that. They like you and they respected that. So.
Yeah, and even some of like my girlfriends, later on, they were kind of like, damn, I kind of respect that you're still, a virgin, whatever. But again, but that was then.
Okay.
No, but even when I was younger, there was the same thing, Tina. So it's like
These niggas, hold on.
after the 80s, people they were just giving it up like it's nothing. Men are statistically more virgins. You're right. Only select few.
So what age did everybody lose their virginity, if you want to share it out of interest?
I was almost 20.
20s, early 20s.
Wow, I think I was 19.
20. Mine was a 20.
in my 20s, yeah.
Sid, were you about to say something?
Yes, I was gonna say, because people in the chat was saying, well, it's a woman's choice who she chooses to sleep with, blah blah blah. But this is my thing. I'm all about accountability, and yes, it is a woman's choice. But we can't act like men are not manipulative. We can't act like, you know what I'm saying? You have to really be strong-minded.
Not as a teenager.
What she say?
And you're not as a teenager. Let's say if it happens around that time.
Right. You have the culture, you have even to this day, like I don't know, I'm all for accountability. Yes, women choose who they sleep with, but let's not act like men are not manipulators. Not all of them, of course, but you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's an equal thing.
Right.
Ashley Rosado, I see you're trying to join, but it says device is not connected. I don't. Yeah, try again to come back. Laura said, okay.
Oh my God, look at the Capricorn way comment.
I'm a hoser. Oh, I'm laughing at Gaines and Aline because they're saying just like a woman to blame a man. It's not a blame, but guys, Gaines, porfa. I could imagine Gaines when he was a teenager.
But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Morena? To be honest with you, the thing is like people should not have sex, men and women, until we're able to understand what sex is. Definitely. I think that's one of the biggest problems in today's society, that a lot of girls, unfortunately, have not had proper sexual education. Therefore, when they have their first sexual experiences, either because they were peer pressured or, because they thought it was going to be something cool or because they believe this random boy and whatnot, they do not know that women have the full control over sex. We allow men to have our bodies. It's our decision, unless
Right.
it's like the R word, of course. But
Right.
other than that, like in normal settings and whatnot, we are the ones who allow the men to go as far as we want. At least that's the way I was raised.
No, that's true.
We always tell our mothers always tell us, el hombre va a llegar hasta donde tú lo dejes.
Mm-hmm.
True. That's true. Real quick again,
Literally.
Ashley, I see you again trying to join. It's still saying device not connected. It says you need to connect their mic or cam before I can add you. So I don't know what's going on there.
So, with that being said, we have to start educating young women to understand that it doesn't matter what a guy says, it matters what a guy does. If you think, hey, I don't want to deal with losers that just wants to use my body and ramp up my body count, because of course that's not going to get you married, then
Mm-hmm.
you have to learn early on and research like what sex means. We have to start educating young girls into like, hey, you're going to if you're going to give your virginity up, you're not going to wait until marriage. You have to do it only to marriage minded men, and men that are also ready for marriage, not because he's telling you, oh yeah, I'll marry you. No, you have to look that person can provide for a wife and a family, that
Right.
person can actually take care of you, protect you. Like if you don't see these things in that person when you're in the talking process, then why you're having sex with that man? You know what I'm saying? Because then later on we proceed to say, oh, I slept with this person because, and they, came up with this, and look, all the stuff that I discovered, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but like, how did you vet this man? Did you include it, your brother, your cousin, your father, your pastor, your whoever man you have that's older in your life? Include them in that process and ask them questions. Even your male friends, ask them honest questions. They'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Men will tell you. It's time for us to start having conversations, about this type of situation so that we can understand what sex really is.
And that's if they care to know, right? Because sometimes women can be delusional about wanting to, meet that guy, then have sex, then have kids. Like it doesn't
Mhm.
always work in that order sometimes. Or when you have that mindset, you're not being realistic anyway. So you're setting yourself up for disappointment when you meet somebody who just took advantage of you.
Yeah,
So
yeah, of course. Yeah, because we go usually with what we feel.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, something we cannot disconnect from. We're hormonal beings. It's
Mhm.
not easy, and I understand that. Like, we go with what we feel. So, words that are beautiful will make us feel some type of way. But that's what we have to include men in our process,
Yeah.
because it's vital for our own preservation. Because if we go only by what we feel, which is what we're most likely to do, then we're not going to be successful. And what we're going to end up with is like a very used box, and nobody will want to marry you. Or you can lower the price for your box and settle for somebody that it's in that same bracket. Because
Mhm.
once you're completely used and you have like this triple digit body counts and even double digit body
Right.
counts, you're not going to be wife material. Like I wish more education like this was getting out to young girls.
Right.
I
Keep it
think
as lower as you can.
Denise is absolutely right. I feel like, I mean, from at least my experience, I feel like that has been the case. Like, I mean, I feel like this is you know what I think it is? I wonder if the communities being different is the issue. Because at least like maybe before, for me, when I was growing up, I knew like when my mom never left me home by myself. But a lot of the kids in my neighborhood, their parents would be gone. That's when they would be sneaking boys in, or they would be having slumber parties and stuff like that. So I wonder if like maybe adult supervision being less present, maybe that's why this generation is so
Mm,
prone
It
to
could be
that.
that too. And this is the information age, Sydney. So everything's on your cell phone.
yeah.
Kids don't need kids can find out information on their own, and they need their parents' guidance so that they understand what, you know what I'm saying? Like if they want to know about sex, they don't even have to go to their parents.
But do you want to be, if I'm honest, the same can be said. But like, for example, I'm going to speak for the Puerto Rican if you look at Puerto Ricans today, you have the same issues,
Mm-hmm.
with other issues, of course, that, our culture brings into the table. But we have also been in the same setting because we're also part of the United States, of
Right.
course, in a minor scale, but we still have the same problems. We still have masculine women in Puerto Rico. I've said it many times before. I'm a reformed masculine woman.
Right.
The problem is that, we still have that conservative aspect because of religion that has created both positive and negative things. Because we have this type, for example, I'm going to bring my example. My mom married a virgin. She didn't want to have sex until she married. But my mom also met my dad at 14 and married at 21.
Right.
So, to be honest with you, if you look at their relationship nowadays in Puerto Rico, you have that type of relationship is only in rural areas. If you go to the city, you have the same setting that you have in the United States. You have a lot of women that are ramping up their body counts, that are having sex wildly, that are doing a lot of stuff, that are super masculine, that, are super toxic, to the point that they don't even have or count in any opinion from any man to tell them how to date. I was blessed enough that I had my father that was the one who talked to me about sex, because my mom kept it as a taboo.
So
My
did
mom
mine.
never talked to me about sex.
So did
She would
mine.
she would even tell me not to even talk about sex in front of her.
Mine was my
So
grandmother.
yeah, our mothers are like that. Like, no.
Yeah. My
My mom
grandmother
was
used to
just
say,
not
"Hágalo como
about
se
that.
la pierna," and I'm like,
Acts
really?
necessarily. My mom just drilled it into her head. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Exactly. My mom
Yeah.
was like, ATH, abstenerte te honra. Like, she will always tell me, like, there's honor in just abstinence. But let's be realistic. That was not going to happen because times are different. Sex is not looked at the same way.
Right.
Now, with that same sentiment, if you think about it, there's so much information out there on how to have a healthy sex life, especially for us as women, and it's counterproductive. Like, let's say you're not looking at it from like a social aspect or a spiritual aspect. If you go to your gynecologist, she will tell you that having a lot of sex with a lot of different partners increases your chances of HPV. Who wants cervical cancer? But if we don't go, you're supposed, by default, even if you're a virgin at 21, by default you're supposed to go to the gynecologist because you're supposed to have your first pap smear.
Right.
How many women know that today?
That's what I'm saying. They still need their parents' guidance. Your parents still have to take over. They can't just say, you know what, I'm gonna wait till July. Let Denise, when she turns 21, she can figure it out. Like, you still need that guidance, and parents, I think, are not willing to do that. I don't know why they're not willing
It's
to
a
do that.
taboo. It's a taboo.
I did
Moms
the
tend
opposite
to,
because my mother didn't talk to me, so I make sure I talk to my son. I mean,
yeah, moms are usually into, like, do not even try to be sexual. Just don't even try to do it. Don't try to, I don't want you with boys, I don't want you with nothing. Like, my parents watch me very freaking closely.
right.
And to be honest with you, you only have your father to talk about this, but how many women are really willing to talk to their fathers about their sexual life?
Nope.
There's a lot of disconnect. And I'm just gonna advise ladies, because I share my sexual life with my father. When I have doubts or when I want to know something, I ask him questions because he's a man.
Right.
And who will have the best interest for me out there as a man than my father, the one that's supposed to protect me? I want to encourage all ladies to actually start talking to your fathers about your relationships. That's the best bet. Trust me, it's not going to be extremely comfortable. Eventually we'll get there, but to
Which
be
sort
honest
is
with
it,
you,
Denise? That's definitely not the norm. I think the mother would be easier
yeah,
conversation than
but
the
you know
father.
what? Your mom will never give you the real advice that you need in a short period of time. Your dad will actually give you the best advice.
Hey
Trust
guys,
me, and he'll keep the secret as well.
you guys, we have somebody new on the panel. We got Ashley Rosado here. Hi, Ashley. Are you still there?
I just hear crickets. Literally.
Oh, I have my window open. Ashley, are you there?
No.
Okay, I don't know if she's there or not. Okay. I don't know. She's been having issues connecting all night. I think that's the Oh no, she's still here. The Dominican girl that's in Spain. I think that's her.
Oh, okay. You had her on before then.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm thinking about the right person.
Thank you, Sydney. That was good.
All right.
Since
Thanks,
Denise,
Sid, for stopping through.
Taco Pelao. Damn, I haven't heard that in a long time, fighter. Taco Pelao.
since Denise brought up sexual health and spoke about HPV leading to cervical cancer, I just wanted to point out that you can also be infected by HPV in your throat as well.
Yeah.
I know women that have had cancer in their esophagus, and men for that matter.
Of course, and papilloma as well. There's a lot of things that can happen from multiple sexual partners. I'm just saying, like, one of the things that HPV can give you is cervical cancer. It's just to point that out. I'm not saying that it's limited to that, but to be honest with you, people need to, women, we need to start talking about this so that other girls can start listening to us about it.
It was interesting. I think somebody earlier was framing the most significant risk around sex is pregnancy, and I actually think the most significant risk is STDs, is infections.
Excuses.
Chlamydia and gonorrhea is going wild out here, and gonorrhea is becoming resistant to antibiotics. And it's about to. I think there's a chlamydia epidemic in a lot of the world, and chlamydia can lead to infertility. So yeah, I think there definitely does need, for both young men and young women, there's definitely needs to be franker discussions about maintaining your sexual health, and that being, you can't entrust that to other people. That needs to be something that you look after for yourself.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And not only that, let's just talk about like how a lot of people don't even know that they have STDs and keep spreading that. Like, if you look at the statistics and you research like all the things and all the possibilities that of things that can happen to you because you have like crazy wild sex out there, thinking that nothing can happen to you, and the worst thing that can happen is a pregnancy. You can even lose your fertility with an STD, So, like I said, there's a lot of things that I think, look, if we're aware as women that a lot of other younger women than us don't have the guidance because they probably didn't had like a male figure to guide them through this, and like we spoke before, a lot of mothers like to keep this as a taboo, probably because they don't understand it, or because they don't want to share it with you, or because they think it's something that they should not talk about. You should just experience it yourself. What better way for us as part of the community, to understand the duty that we also have to younger girls that are coming up and telling them how it is. I think that should be something that as women we should start doing, which is speaking up about, our vaginas, sex life, what should we do, how to take care of our vajayjays. All this stuff has to be spoken about more often. If we are not going to have the whole, let me consult with my father or my uncle or my pastor and whatnot, like, we also need to do our part. It's the only thing we can do for younger generations so that they don't go through the same doubts that many women are going through today.
Right. Danny, are you referring to two male actors got throat cancer that way? So if there's two male actors that got it, I mean, then how many potential women might have got it that way? But I don't see y'all telling women, oh, don't do it because you might get throat cancer, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Denise, I don't know if you got the part of that where they're talking about men, they don't want to eat the box. Anyways, but they expect it. But yeah, they got all these excuses as to why they don't want to. Ashley Rosado, can you try speaking again? I can't hear you. I see you're typing in the private chat, but I don't hear anything.
You're breaking up a little bit, Christina.
Ah, dang, I am. No, because Ashley's been trying to talk, but I don't. Her mic, I guess, isn't working. I don't have my mic connected right now. It's the laptop microphone. That's right. I got that fighter Wi-Fi.
So thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to sign off now.
Why is sucking mandatory, but eating the box isn't? That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is there that double standard? That's what I want to know.
I'm going to sign off now. Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the chat. I've enjoyed speaking to you.
Bye, Sandra. Take care.
Good night.
Okay, so you guys, it is now midnight. So, okay, what do y'all want to do? Should I do the follow-up part with the guys? It's already 12, so if I do it, it's not going to be for long.
Yeah, I think you should, because look, this is something that at the end of the day, women, I don't believe that you or any of the women that are here are like looking to get in a relationship with a woman. I believe I believe you guys to hear from the men, because they are the ones that you guys are trying to date and mate, so at the end of the day, I believe that you guys should hear from the man, unless you're trying to get with a woman. Like if you're trying to get with a woman, then disregard what I just said. But if not, yeah, let's hear from the men. Maybe they can shed a little bit more light on what they think about like having sex or celibacy, and like, I think it's more healthy if it comes from them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up to you, girl, if you want to.
Okay. Well, okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to end this stream. Okay. And I'm gonna start a new one, but it's only gonna go for an hour because I got to work tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? And yeah. So, all right, y'all. So that was episode 1 of our Women Wednesdays all-female panel. Thank you guys for coming on. If guys want to come back onto the next one, just stick around, okay? So everybody in the chat, stick around. I'm ending the slide. Yes, hit the Cash App, and I'm going to be right back, like a few minutes. Actually, Rosado, I know you've been trying to get on, but you try to get on to the next live I'm about to do, okay? Bloodwood, it's the internal mic of the laptop. I can try attaching my external mic, see if maybe that makes a difference. All right, y'all, stick around. I'll be right back.
Peace.